Bangladeshi friends, it's Shubho Shodhan. For my Indian friends, it's Namaste. For my Chinese friends, it's Ni Hao. And for my Pakistani friends, it's Assalamu Alaikum.
Okay, everyone, thank you very much, Minal. It's like excellent, like friends and sisters and like a family. To like you are for us all over the world. So let's see. Just we will be talking about the education, how it's happening in your country. You are from Delhi, India. So my first question will be how your last 3.5 months or 4 months went in the lockdown time as a teacher.
Yes, Shafket. Actually, I just want to share my experience and our team experience. In India, I think in all over the world, nobody was ready for this pandemic. And suddenly it changed the whole world. A 360-degree change was seen by everyone. But when in India, government started lockdown in mid of March, and within a day we started the virtual classes because in only central India, our school is a Google certified school and Apple distinguished school. So my team was always ready. My students were always ready for the virtual classrooms. And yes, it took a trigger, trust, and we wanted to push them out from that convictional teaching where they were more into face-to-face teaching and having that connection with the students. So just to feel that change, it took just 1 or 2 days, and they planned their lessons very nicely. They planned it innovatively because our first focus was to have that interest and connections with the student. Because when we are physically present with them, with our kids, the teachers have that emotional bond. So even the teachers were facing the challenge that how can we connect that emotional bond with our younger ones or with the students. So that was the challenge, or that was the emotional skill which need to be developed in our staff. So for last 2 months we had rigorous training for them. Even Google has upgraded its app. So we had Google Tools training, Google App training. We use this quizzes virtually. We have explored a number of apps, and now from 1st of July, it's been 20 days. We are like, to be very frank, we have created a benchmark in our state, and even our parent community is very happy the way we are delivering our online lessons. So, and in fact, you will be surprised to know that we are having our online classes in the evening so that the parents can support these students.
Okay, that's the main thing because I heard that in our country also some of the schools are having the online classes even in the evening because the parents, some parents are working and
Yeah,
mothers
that is the reason that we have shifted in the evening so that mother or either father can assist the younger ones. And for the students, those who are in the higher classes, at least they need to keep an eye that whether they are sitting properly or not for the virtual classroom.
yes.
Because
So
students are smart enough.
of course, and like I think your schools have from PG to 12 like school like high school and junior school both. So
Yes.
do you see any difference between the like the junior classes is expecting the online classes in a one way and the senior classes are in a different way?
Shafkat, can you be a little bit louder? I can't hear your question.
Can you tell me that the junior classes and the senior classes, is there any difference between expecting the online classes? You have both the section with you, junior section and senior section. Is there any difference?
Yeah.
Is there any
No.
difference how they are welcoming the online class?
Yes, yes. In fact, I told you that my school is a Google certified school since 2009. So from grade 5 to 12, they all are using iPads only. So our parents' fraternity has welcomed virtual classroom warm-heartedly. Nobody is against it. They are supporting the management and they are appreciating our work.
Very
Whether
nice,
it's
very nice.
preschool, whether it's middle school, or whether it's higher school.
Okay. So now can you tell me as a teacher, I think this is the first time for a long time you are in the online classes, is it? The
Yes.
school
First of all, I believe flexibility. Because sitting in any part of the world, the student and the teachers can connect with each other and they can deliver their classrooms. Secondly, I feel that it cuts shorts and it reduces the cost, the time and the money. Because as a school, we don't have to spend on the caretakers, the transportation, the food expenses. So even it reduced the cost and secondly, the advantages, networking opportunities. For the teachers and students, we can plan guest lectures, we can take them to the virtual museum, and they can make friends in any part of the world. So network opportunities are also there. And documentation. The most important thing is documentation. Because if you missed your class, or if you're mailing them, or if you're sending any links to them, everything is stored on the online database. So it is very convenient for as an educationist that whatever I'm sharing with my team or with my students, it is with them on just one click. Because if you miss your school, you miss the whole lectures what you have attended. But here you can check the recordings. You can pause it. You can get it clear the concept slowly and gradually after listening to your teacher. So these all things I believe are the advantages for
Of
it.
course. Is there any disadvantage you feel?
Yeah, social isolation. I believe the biggest disadvantage is social isolation because being human, we are social animal, and not meeting and not talking to your peers and teachers for 4 to 5 months, it is really challenging for the younger students, or no matter if you're in the universities or college. So, keeping this a social isolation in my mind, I have already asked my team members to plan their classes accordingly where they have face-to-face interaction and they have to focus on each and every individual. So, Shafket, we have celebrated Nelson Mandela Day recently on 17th. On that, we have extempo competition. We have celebrated Color Week. So that we can have that essence that we all are physically present with each other.
Yes.
And for in online teaching also, the students need strong time management skills and self-motivation. They need constant self-motivation. And monitoring is really difficult. If you're planning assessment, exams, so monitoring is also difficult. But yes, we are using the app exam.net. It's a wonderful app where you can monitor it properly. And for the younger ones, especially for the preschooler, the concentration span is too less. So making them sit for an half an hour or 45 minutes is also a bit challenging. But fortunately, my team is doing a wonderful job. And again, one more drawback is student feedback is limited during the online classes.
Thank you, Minal. Another thing is that what do you think when the pandemic is over, when the school is reopening? Because actually, what happened in India on this side, the situation is getting worse and worse. I know because now when the school will be reopened, we all don't know. But when it reopen, is there any plan for your school to reopen in a different way? What do you think? What is your plan?
See, WHO and Indian Ministry has definitely released the guidelines, and even our management and our school stakeholders are planning on those guidelines. So, sanitization, use of mask, shield, these are very general, which everybody has to follow. But keeping 1 meter distance between the chair, and we have already planned one policy also that we would be calling these students separately, like one day, for example, section A is coming, so section B will be called on the next day, and the student strength will be 50%. And one day we will have virtually, and one day we will have physically. That is what we have planned. And like after 6, 7 months, when the students will be meeting with their teachers and peers, it will be really a challenging task to keep them away from their friends. So, few things once we reach the school, we would be facing. And we have planned to cut short the assemblies. The luncheon will be provided in the classroom itself. No social PTMs, no gatherings, no annual functions. so that we will be have a stoppage on social gatherings.
like
Basically, no
slowly,
crowded place.
like slowly bringing the school back to again, like but very slowly, very slow process. That's what
Yes, yes, very slowly.
yes. Now, and then can you advise to your students or parents any kind of advice you want to give them?
Yes, yes. First, I would like to give advice to my students that they should always participate and commit themselves to the virtual classroom. They should be willing to become a tech savvy person. They should be self disciplined. And last but not least, they should respect their teachers during the online teaching, and they should appreciate the effort and be a part of collaborative planning also. Here, I would like to add the student agency also. We should give them voice choice ownership to understand their own learning. So once we give them, they become responsible and they understand. And for the parents, yes, they should never intervene or disturb during the virtual classroom. They should never, criticize or mock the school and teachers' effort because believe me, teachers and schools have worked a lot for the virtual classrooms. And even if they do this in front of their kids, then it is reflected in the virtual classroom. The way the students make the faces, they don't respect their teachers. So, really, it's my request to the parents not to criticize the school efforts and teachers' efforts. And do not let them feel that they are having their vacations or their gala time. Make them understand the self discipline, whether it is a virtual classroom. But we are trying to give them the feel of physical classroom. So they need to maintain their discipline. They should not be given time to eat in front of the camera and drink or something. Yes, we have planned 10 minutes gap in every classes. So that time they can have these all duties. Secondly, they should have a perfect learning pace in the house so that where sufficient air and light is available, and it gives a child the feel of having that classroom. That's it.
Excellent, excellent, Vinay. At the end, can you just give me a glimpse of the Indian education, how the education is happening in India, like school, colleges, or universities? Can you just give me a
Yeah,
small idea?
definitely. Yes. Indian education system already needs a technological boost, which I personally feel. And digitalization is itself is, part of education. But the Indian government should have already taken this step far ahead before the pandemic arrived. But now they have come with certain measures. Even the state governments have come up with, education programs. They are trying, like especially the public school and government schools, they are trying to connect with the students, and they are sharing the videos, study material through the phones, Android phone. And even in the private sector, I feel only 10 to 15% schools have started their virtual classrooms. So now, slowly and gradually, whole Indian education system is trying to shift in digitalization, and definitely it will be a boon for us in coming years.
So basically, you are saying that 10 to 15% private schools are having online classes. So,
Private.
private.
Yeah, and right now the others, Shafkat, what they are doing, they are sending the material through mails on the
Yes, yes,
Android phones.
yes.
They are sending their recordings on WhatsApp. But what actually other person schools are doing, they are having proper virtual classroom.
Okay, classroom.
So yes, they all are giving their best, but now it will take time.
Of course, of course. And basically, this is a totally new environment for everyone. So, as a
Yes,
teacher,
yes.
as a parent, as a student, everybody has a new concept here. So, it takes time. It takes time until unless the world gets perfect again and we come back to our virtual classes, sorry, physical classes and all. So, hopefully, everything will be okay in the near future and we all
Walaikum salam. How are you? Good evening.
I'm fine, excellent.
Yeah.
Bushra, that you give me time and just I was talking with you on that day, like one of the how basically you are having classes in Pakistan, online classes, and how the students are taking, how the parents are taking. These are the very important things what we want to know from all of you. I just finished with Minar from India, Delhi. So,
Yes.
Bushra, you tell me, how was your last 3 months as a teacher?
Uh, Teaching is a really challenging. Some teachers who never faced camera, they are facing it now and experience new networks across the world. They are not just introduced to a new environment. This is the main problem which actually teachers are facing these days. And they are not just introduced a new environment, but are obtaining different facilities. So I think it's become more challenging.
Okay. So,
And students are going to like, okay, can continue, continue.
now as a teacher, you have challenges. How the students are taking it? The online classes?
It's students are going through lack of learning skill, I think, because their lack of schooling, they become unorganized and lack of discipline actually prohibited these days, and it's really interrupts students' learning skills and abilities to perform. So I think e-learning is a really good idea, but at the same time, I see disadvantages as we can't present with the students. At the same time, the presence of the teacher is missing. Online classes is something the next medium. You can't grab your student at the same time. When he or she will be sitting in front of you, this is another thing. But in e-learning, you can't control the attention and whatever the concentration span, especially for the preschoolers. Because I am expert in preschool, yes, yes. I think the students miss that touch, hugs, and kiss of the teacher. The motherhood is missing now. So e-learning have advantages. There are the other hand, disadvantages are also intrigue this education.
So, basically, what do you think when the pandemic is over and the students will be coming back to the schools again? So, what
जी
will
जी.
be the uh, major things you will be looking for that the classroom will be little bit different? How how you are
Um,
thinking about the classroom?
uh, Shafkat, I think we should strictly follow SOP rules after opening the school, no? After this pandemic. And each class must consist of each 20 kids. Strength should be controlled in the class. Social distancing should be promoted, and shall wear mask, must usage of mask, and be informed about the pandemic and the effects on daily basis to the students. We should include in the lectures actually. Uh, it's all about the knowledge we are going to give the kids because it's a challenge now. Whatever this pandemic continue or whatever it is finished, but our students know this, how we should follow this SOP. We have to wear masks, we have to wash our hands, whatever. No? So we should give them knowledge also.
Very, very nice. So,
Thank you, thank you.
can you tell me a brief about the Pakistan, how the education is happening now, like school, colleges, or universities? How it's happening?
Education in Pakistan is improved a lot, Shakti. But many children cannot have this opportunity due to lack of some government policies and limited resources. Students need more resources and more interaction with the teachers and with the authorities to provide also. As this year it counts as a skip year of the students actually, because 3 or 4 months we are back to back. There is no any class happening, and this thing that's a really bad image on the education system of Pakistan. So we should acknowledge the hello. Yes, we should. Yes, we need organization, more organization and skill providing activities to awake the importance of education to the students.
Yeah. So, your session is from January to December, is it? Your session is from January to December.
No. Our academic starts from September.
September to next semester.
Yes, yes,
So
yes,
actually you
yes.
are almost end of your semester, your academic year, is it?
Yes, yes. Is it that we are going to start early as we plan to maintain the skip year, and we are trying to manage it as we try to manage the skip year, and we are started our new classes after 3 or 4 days. In present week, we are going to start again because I'm preschooler, so there is a absence of that activities because we as Lahore grammars we are based on activity learning, active learner activity through the teacher and student should be present at the same time. But it's a challenge now how we cope up the attention of our small students now through a puppet, through different activities. Whenever mothers or fathers are sitting in front of us, we have to plan the activities in that way that our students not only feel any concentration span actually, because the preschoolers have a problem of concentration span.
It's a very important thing for
we need
teacher.
we all grammars are managed in that way that we are also entering in the class, sports class, music class, and different other activities we are including in that same Google Meet with the parents.
So actually the students are enjoying it. The students are enjoying a lot.
Yes, inshallah, this is our basic goal to cover this year in this way and hope for a good. And I also feel a positive vibes from this school system as we are working really hard for it. We are managing new activities, and we try to manage the music classes. We try to manage our activity classes, our demos, so our students grasp the main concept of the year. Thank you.
Excellent. Bushra, another thing
Thank you, Shafkat.
so can you give some advice to the parents or students?
Parents and student advice. Yes. Teacher, look, Shafkat, teachers are really facing problems, difficulties while learning in the new area, enter in the new area. Even coming live and conduct the lecture is really tricky, I think. So the behavior of the student and the parents towards the circumstances is appreciable. They should appreciate the teachers. Don't prank them, please. This is my advice. This is my humble request to the parents, those who are watching me. Through this medium, I'm trying to give them this advice. Please encourage the teachers. Don't make them fool or something. Don't prank them as they are. Challenge. Teachers are also suffering from this pandemic. Create a really mess with the teachers actually. Not only the kids, teachers are also really worried about the situation because they have to manage their planners, they have to conduct the classes, they have to, and they are answerable, Shafkat. How you go through with the class, what is the assessments and what is the observation of the child? Because in this level where I am teaching, we are mostly not taking assessments. We are taking observation of the child. So in that, at this time, we should answerable in that way. Okay, when you take the task, when you give the lesson, so what your student gets, what is the result actually? So teachers are really on on the tricky place right now.
enough to observe the students and
Yes, exactly.
assess the
Exactly.
fitness level in online
Yes.
and everything. Obviously, everybody is facing the challenge. I think same way the teachers, students, and parents are also facing the challenges.
Yes.
Inshallah, hopefully the whole environment will be coming back to our positive way again, and we will be going
Inshallah.
to our inshallah, get back to the classroom with the students.
Yes, inshallah. Inshallah. The colorful environment. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me on your prestigious show, Shafkat. I really love that. I really love your show actually. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz, signing out. Yes. Why not? Why not? Anytime. Anytime. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Okay, everyone, it was Bushra Wazir from Pakistan, Lahore. She just talked with me about education, what is happening, how it's happening in Lahore, Pakistan. So we got some ideas from Iran, from India, and Bushra from Pakistan. Uh, my next guest will be another great lady, Georgina Frutti. She is like one of my friends and colleagues. We worked in the same school once for a long time. So Georgina will be joining with me from China. She is basically a Greek lady. She is from Athens, and she studied in London and worked in London for a long time. And then she came back to Athens and worked for a long time over there also. Now, from 2019, she is working in China. She is working in China as a teacher and an educator over there. Now, she is presently working in Guangzhou, China, and she is the director of international curriculum in the Medical Campus International Kindergarten in China, Guangzhou. So, I need to welcome Georgina. Good evening, Georgina. How are you?
Good evening, Shafket. Thank you for inviting me to share, our experience.
I'm happy to have you in my show because I was looking for you for a long, long time. Thank you.
Yeah, my VPN doesn't function properly.
I know, no problem. At least I got you in my show now. So that's the great thing now. Georgina, you tell me, you are working in China now from 2019, what I know. How is your last 3 months, 4 months as a teacher?
Oh, actually, the online classes started from February because we had a complete lockdown for 2 months in the beginning of the year. And in the place I used to be before, in the other school, our online classes started mid-February, and the schools for primary education opened just before June, and for pre-primary education opened in mid-June. So you see, the online classes went on. In the places that now schools have opened since mid of May, and so the online classes stopped. My experience of the online classes, I think it was good. I found many positive things. There was a lot of preparation for the lesson plan to be transferred into a kind of PowerPoint, cooperation with the teachers involved, and showing your lesson plan on a PowerPoint. It gives it another extension of education, and it makes you rethink of what you're going to deliver, really. I think students and parents responded positively. Parents were a bit hesitant in the beginning, but when they saw, that the lockdown goes on and on, they really supported the idea of online classes. Yeah, I think it's a positive experience. Although for teachers, the work is more, I believe, in an online class. Yeah.
Online classes, the teachers work is more hard
I don't know. Probably in the classroom, the fact that the approach is immediate makes you flexible, and you prepare, but not that much, you know, because you have the immediate response of your students. But in an online class, you have to prepare more, and you have to anticipate really uh, many manners of response. That's why I say that I found working on a lesson plan for online class that is a lot more work than in a physical class.
So basically, in China now you are having your schools going on. No more online classes.
In the area that I'm now, yeah, because things are different from area to area. And China, you know, it's a huge country. It's like a continent, actually. Yeah.
So, just like, but you are maintaining the health issues like wearing masks or gloves or washing hands. That is there.
Yeah. There's we try, you know, to keep some social distance at the canteen and at lunchtime. It is difficult to have the mask on when you instruct children, and especially young children, you know, with the language, because they have to watch your lips. Children do not wear masks, but we keep them in physical distance. And things have relaxed, I can say, the last 2 weeks. But yeah, in May, things were really strict.
So, your China in education, the semester, sorry, classroom session is what? January to December? Session is January to December?
The lockdown started, last days of January, and it went on to many places till June.
So,
But in the place I used to be previously, we could go out from the first week of March, but schools were closed. Yeah.
when the online classes were going on, how the students and parents respond in China?
In the beginning, as I told you, some parents were hesitant, but when they saw that there was no other way to have instruction, they supported the idea, and they became very good supporters. They arranged the environment of the children. They tried to be in a quiet place, not to be disturbed, and they encouraged them. And the children actually, because they didn't go out, they found it a good occasion to socialize with the other 6 or 7 children that were on the platform. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So, Georgina, now you were having normal classes. So,
Yeah.
have you missed any curriculum-wise syllabus or anything when you are having the online classes, or you have your normal?
I found I found online classes that which really convenient. You know, you could be, you know, in your living room and meeting with your students, and you didn't move, you didn't go out. Of course, you had to put a lot of work, but that kind of convenience, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay, good. That's good. So, like in future, it might can be having online classes like 1 or 2 days. Maybe 1 or 2 days online classes can be happening in the school. What do you think?
Oh, the classes. No. The classes were. I used to work in a training school, so the classes were started from midweek and they went on till the weekend. I mean, we had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you see, it was quite demanding for the tired at some point because their school started giving them a lot of homework. Um, but things really regulated somehow.
So I know that you are expert in Montessori. You are a very expert in Montessori teaching. So Montessori teaching, how you did it online?
No. The Montessori was not online. How could it be? You like it to No, I do it now in my new school. Yeah, I offer instruction in Montessori sessions to children. Yeah, using full, there's a fully equipped big classrooms and all that. Yeah.
You are expert in Montessori. I know that. As I worked with you, we were colleagues, so you are really expert in Montessori. I know that. And like obviously,
Yeah.
online Montessori can be going on. Now I think you are being okay to have the Montessori classroom.
I'm really happy with that. Uh, it's fully equipped, and some work materials are double and triple, so so we can go crazy. Yeah.
Okay. At the end, you just tell me, do you want to advise your students and parents now? Obviously, they
How
left their classroom now, but how they can like help the students and parents? Any advice for the students and
Yeah.
parents from you?
Going back to the classroom, it means that we go out of home, and there is another kind of discipline that children enjoy going out. And of course, we were so tired of staying in. So everybody enjoys it now, and we just pray to go. Yeah, like that. I don't have any advice for parents and students because from my experience, parents supported the whole idea after some time. It was only in the beginning, something like 2 weeks, that they were hesitant. But once that they saw that the lockdown is going to last, we could see that this was good for the kids and that their education has to go on. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So I can see your smile. You go back to the classroom. That's the main thing. And please pray for us. Inshallah, we will be going back to the classroom again.
Of course. And keep safe. Of course I pray. Yeah.
Nadina, good to see you. Inshallah, we will meet you again. And
I'm so happy that we met virtually. So happy. And thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me.
welcome.
Thank you.
Good night, Nadina.
Good night.